One reform I've offered, and it's been steadfastly opposed by people, is that if you are a scientist and you're on the vaccine committee, you should have to reveal whether you get royalties from Pfizer or Moderna. And Anthony Fauci's response was, the pandemic is like another war on the pandemic or on the virus. Spending went through the roof, the economy was shut down. But really it became, and this is the thing I blame Fauci mostly for, it became about submission.
Yeah.
It wasn't the science. The left would say, follow the science, follow the science. But it turns out virtually everything he told us wasn't true.
Yes.
The masks didn't work at all, particularly the cloth masks. So when they told, if you were 75 years old and your spouse has COVID and they tell you to wear a cloth mask and go in to feed her, they've told you the wrong thing to do. They've told you something unhealthy to do.
Yes.
Now you're going to get COVID. Why? Maybe you die. It's the wrong thing to do. When they told you to stay 6 feet apart from people, it turns out the virus can spread 30 feet. If you're in a choir practice and it's a room a little bigger than this and there's 30 people singing, you can get it without touching the person 30 feet across. So it was actually more infectious than they said. And so they gave you bad advice there. But it should have been, if you're 100 pounds overweight and you're 55 years old, don't go to choir practice. But if you're 6 years old or 16 years old or 26 years old and healthy, you can go. And most of you have already had COVID. And the other thing they lied about or didn't tell the truth was once you've had COVID, you're not going to die from it. You may get it again, but even a lot of people who got it naturally never got it again. People who got vaccinated got it again and again and again. But the thing is that they didn't tell us that we had protection, that we wouldn't die. To this day, the government has never admitted if you've had it, can you get it again and die? I think it's virtually zero people got it again and died. Now, very elderly or people with a lot of other diseases maybe, but really most of the country over 65 got 2 vaccines, got COVID 2 or 3 times. They're not going to die from it now. And they should tell us the truth so you know what to do.
Crisis is a subjective position. It wasn't a crisis for everyone. It wasn't, well, as the Chinese saying outlines, it was an opportunity. The people for whom it was not a crisis have no motivation not to generate a permanent state of crisis. And I think that what we're entering into, and perhaps have been in since 9/11, is a successive crises used to legitimize opportunity.
Well, the Chinese may have first said it, but then Rahm Emanuel famously repeated it, let no crisis go to waste. A crisis is a time when government can consolidate power. The Patriot Act, which reminds me of how when something is named something, you get the opposite. So almost every name of legislation, you have to look beneath the surface to find out that the Patriot Act is the most unpatriotic of acts, that it took our freedom, that it invaded our privacy. But you're right, ginning this up. So for example, the COVID vaccine. Do we need it now? Does anybody need it? I think probably no one needs it.
Yeah.
Now, I don't want to say no one because there might be some debilitated people who are very sick who it might be recommended. But I will say, is there a self-interest in the vaccine manufacturers to have it on a list and to require it for children? In Europe, they finally decided, virtually all of Europe, they don't recommend it under age 12, the COVID vaccine. I would go further. I think probably you're healthy and under 40 or 50. And then I'd also ask you if you had COVID. You've had COVID? It may be that you don't even need anything else, any more vaccines at all, probably, if you've had COVID, because they need to show what are the statistics. But what do you think Moderna's position is? What do you think Pfizer's position is? They are self-interested. So one reform I've offered, and it's been steadfastly opposed by people, is that if you are a scientist and you're on the vaccine committee, you should have to reveal whether you get royalties from Pfizer or Moderna.
Oh my God, people are resisting that.
Simple? Yeah, and I haven't got it passed yet because people will object to it, mostly on the Democrat side. But I continue to try to get that. Always a reporting request. Tell us if you work for these companies. Tell us if you get any money. And Anthony Fauci's response was, the law says we don't have to.
Oh my God.
And my response to him is, I will change the law. And by golly, I'm continuing to fight, and I will eventually get the law changed.
Most coffee, all it does is it helps you to organize a stool in that inward back pocket you call the butt. What does it also do? It leaves you feeling all down, jittery, foggy, and needing another cup of coffee. You can only trust 1775, the one true coffee of revolution. Rejuvenate coffee is science-backed coffee. It's real Arabica beads. Arabacadabra, I say, because it makes me feel absolutely magic. It's infused with CAAKG, which is a kind of like a rifle, you know, like an assault rifle, but it's assault in your central nervous system with delicious beans, baby. A compound shown to support cellular energy, metabolism, and even healthy aging. If you care about how you feel now and how you'll feel 10 years from now, This is your coffee. Go to 77firecoffee.com/me probably and order Rejuvenate coffee today. Fuel your body, protect your future, rejuvenate, you sick perverts. Thanks for watching the video. Have a look at this one over here or join us Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday on Rumble.